Hey everyone, welcome back to another repaint video. Today I'm going to show off my newest repaint from the Mattel Jurassic World line of the battle damaged Albertosaurus. This repaint surprisingly was like 9 months in the making. I actually picked up the old battle damaged Albertosaurus at Walmart. I think back in January they had them on clearance for $5 each. So I grabbed one, figured I'd end up doing a repaint on it. I actually started this when I first picked up the model. I was originally going to have this be the Albertosaurus based on Jurassic World Evolution, specifically the Tundra color scheme. But unfortunately, like many of my repaint projects, I'm so busy with work and other things going on that I started it and never finished it and just sat and sat for months. And I recently took it out the other day and I decided to do something different with it, obviously. So I basically ended up repainting almost entirely over what I started, except for the yellow areas on the underside of this figure. And where I got my inspiration from is from this girl right here. Let me just reach down and get her. I decided to base the color scheme on probably my favorite pet reptile I have here. This is Tipsy. If any of you are on the Blue Ton Skink groups on Facebook, you are probably very familiar with this very squirmy girl, and she is honestly one of my most favorite reptiles that I keep, even though she does not like staying still. So sometimes the best inspiration comes from what's sitting right in front of you, and this girl is truly beautiful. For, I'll just give information what she is. She is a blotched blue ton skink, more specifically the alpine locale. In Australia there's two different locales of blotched blue tongues, the lowland and the alpine. They are both the same species, and she's just an awesome pet. I absolutely love blue ton skinks. I actually have about 30 of them in my basement. I breed them on the side, and she is honestly my favorite animal ever. And outside of Australia, they are extremely rare. She's probably worth more than a few mitten box demon carnotauruses. So anyways, let's just take this figure out of its old battle damage packaging and take a closer look at it. So what I ended up doing was, I know a lot of people always ask me to do painting tutorials, but where my setup for painting is, it's not ideal for me to record my repaints. And I've tried doing it, and I'm just not as good as, say, Ted Brothers with how to do a tutorial about painting. Maybe one day I will actually get better at it and have better repaint videos for you guys in the future. So what I ended up doing for this repaint, as I do with most of my repaints, I ended up spraying this whole thing down with a matte white primer coat, and then I painted the whole underside with pale daffodil. And then let me just get my light a little bit better on these paints. And then I ended up dry brushing the underside with yellow and a little bit of pumpkin orange. And then obviously the main body coloration is black. These are just the cheap acrylic paints, apple barrel, that you can find at Walmart for 50 cents a tube. And then to really bring out all that orange blotches that are on my blue ton skink here, I just end up selecting out all the spikes and ridges on this model. If you actually have this figure in hand, if you look at the Albertosaurus sculpt, there is a lot of nice large scales and spikes sculpted in there. So I just end up picking them all out and highlighting them in orange. And what I did for the ones on the head right here, I ended up doing them initially in yellow first, and then I just dry brushed them with that pumpkin orange to kind of give a little bit of depth to them. Same thing with the head crest right here. I did them in yellow, then dry brushed over them with that pumpkin orange, and then I ended up going over the yellow with that little bit of pumpkin orange to bring out all that really nicely sculpted scale detail that is on this figure. And I just highlighted the lip scales in pumpkin orange with a toothpick. So I really like how this came out. It's a very striking coloration, and when I actually do show off Tipsy to people, they're always blown away by the colors of her. So I'm actually happy I have my own dinosaur homage to my favorite pet reptile. So that will pretty much do it for this repaint video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I still have like 4 more I started a month ago that I am very slowly getting to. So hopefully I'll have more repaint content for you guys in the future. And yes, I did manage to save the battle damage feature. It kind of sticks a little bit because I gotta trim some of the paint in there and to allow the mechanism to work a little bit better. But thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys like this repaint of the Albertosaurus. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.